on you. What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party.
What's up, party people? It's Talib Kweli, the BKMC, the MCEO. This is another episode of the Fantastic People's Party. I got my lovely and funny and talented and thoughtful co-host Jasmin Leigh in the place to be. Give it up for Jasmin Leigh, party people. Now, Jasmin, you moved to Los Angeles to do comedy.
Yes.
So today should be a very inspiring episode for you in particular and people who just love comedy.
I'm excited.
Today with us, we have probably the most unique comedian alive. I think he's hype.
He's ready to come.
Now, I think if you call somebody a weirdo, that's a diss, but if you call him weird, that's a compliment. So I'm gonna call my man Weird. He's a very funny man. He's truly fearless, creative, fucking funny. He's coming in right now. Perhaps the greatest intro in People's Party history ever. He stars in the movie Bad Trip. He is the creator of the Eric Andre Show.
And now he's leaving.
I'm out.
He's the voice of some animal in Lion King.
Hyena.
The hyena.
That's right.
Give it up for Eric Andre.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Don't see you clapping. Okay, weird. Bad energy.
What's up, Eric?
What's happening?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man.
Thank you for doing my show.
Of course. I'm such a fan. Genuinely.
Thank you. You owed me because I did your show.
Yes, I owed you. And
Yes.
Murs electrocuted you.
Yes, he did.
We heard about
I
that.
can electrocute you.
Let's talk about that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. So first of all, the Eric Andre Show is a fantastic show, and my children are fans of it, and they put me onto it.
How many kids you got?
I got 2.
Really?
Yes,
Do you know who the mother is?
I do.
Wow, okay.
And guess what?
Because I'm pregnant right
It's
now.
the same mother.
I have no idea who the
Where's
mom is.
Maury when you need him?
I have no idea who the mom is.
We gonna get Maury on this show?
Yeah, we need him.
Okay. When I came and did your show, there was me and a bunch of young rappers whose names I didn't know.
Oh, no.
Which tells me you got your ear to the street.
There's a disconnect between the Gen X rappers and the millennial rappers. There's a conflict. Don't you feel like that?
Well, we have you to make that connection.
I'm the connection, yeah.
That's right. So you came to me with the cattle prod, and you had no problem cattle prodding all the younger rappers.
Yeah.
But with me, you were like you gave me some OG props.
Yeah, I grew up listening to you, man. I couldn't do it.
But I was
couldn't
down for the
electrocute you.
shenanigans.
I know, but I can't. You're like my hero, man. I can't electrocute you.
So Murs doesn't feel that way.
Murs lit you up.
Yeah, he did. And he,
Murs grabbed the cattle prod and was like,
He
"Bow,
did.
bow!"
And you know that's
you
the
took
first
it like
time
a G. You
I
didn't
met
even
him.
care. Really?
Yeah, I didn't know him before then.
What?
Yes.
I think you guys are old friends.
No, that's how he greeted.
Really?
No, you know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
I thought you guys were like old friends.
No. He saw that you wouldn't do it, and he took it upon himself.
That's fucked up.
To
Can I say the
cattle
F?
prod me.
Can I say the F
You can
word?
say whatever word
That's
you want to
fucked
say.
up.
Oh, don't curse on the show.
Oh shit. Messed up to heck.
But then Murs,
Wait, is Chuck D coming on later?
yes, in a few.
Because you know what I'm
minutes
going to
he'll be
do?
here.
I have Flavor Flav's number. I'm going to invite him on when Chuck D doesn't know it. Sneak up behind him and let the fireworks explode. It got real tense in here.
Welcome to the People's Party, baby.
A bunch of white people got on their email phones and shit. But yo,
Let me
Murs,
know if you want me to make that happen.
No, make that call. Let's go.
I love him.
We have People's Party Part 1 and Part 2.
Yes.
Murs came on my show a week later. We met on your show.
I can't believe. I thought you guys
Yeah.
were like old friends.
No, but the first thing he said when he sat down with me was, I said, "Why did you cattle prod me?" And he said, "Because I didn't like you."
What? That's rude as shit.
No, you know what? I'm telling the story wrong. I said, "Why did you cattle prod me?" And he said, "Because Eric Andre didn't do it." I said, "Murs, me and you, we know a lot of the same people. We run the same circles.
Yeah.
How come we never hung out before?"
Yeah.
He said, "Because I didn't like you." And he said, because he felt pigeonholed as a conscious rapper. So he tried to not like other conscious rappers, but he admitted he was wrong about that. He was like, that was just me and my feelings,
That's
me not
messed
being.
up.
Yeah, you know. But you started some rap beef, is what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? It's all your fucking fault.
You know, when I cattle prod people, I do it with love. It's never malicious. So, that's upsetting to me.
Did you bring the cattle prod here?
I actually have it right under the desk.
Oh
yes.
my gosh, I'm excited.
I'm gonna light all you up. No, it's
Now,
a dangerous. It's not good.
Your penis is kind of a celebrity.
Yeah. You could say that again.
Yes, he comes out a lot.
All right.
No.
Careful what you wish for.
Oh, we've been waiting for it.
I'm doing your birthday party.
Yeah.
And on the flyer is a bunch of penises, which I'm sure there's some penises on the flyer.
Which
it's like
flyer?
a penis cake. I don't know, like.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a bukkake themed birthday party.
Okay, yeah. See,
Do you know what the ancient art of bukkake?
I've heard things.
When one woman and 10 Japanese businessmen love each other very much.
It's a gangbang.
Come on, let's not use foul language.
Okay.
Let's not disrespect Japanese culture.
This is a people's party show.
Sorry. I didn't mean
Family
to
show,
disrespect.
Jasmine. Now, I have to be strategic on when I post that birthday flyer.
I can give you a non-cock one
Well, okay, so Dave Chappelle.
if you want your friends to come.
we have a mutual friend with Dave Chappelle, right?
Yes.
And he told me a story of you came to do a show in Columbus, and his kids, like my kids,
Oh, God.
are
His
fans
wife
of yours.
is mad at me.
Yeah, his wife brought the kids to the show.
Yeah, she
and
did
he
not
said,
like me.
I did not know that I was sending my kids and my wife to see Eric Andre's penis.
Well, no, that's not fair. It was the mangina. I did the tuck,
Okay.
like Silence of the
Mangina,
Lambs. Yeah,
yes.
no, I'm not going to disrespect Chappelle's family like that.
And just go ahead and whip it out.
I mean, that's my closer. What was I supposed to do?
Is
You
your
got to give the people what they want.
is your penis like in a sort of public domain at this point? Like it's everywhere?
Yeah, it's on Getty. It's on Shutterstock.
It's like your penis and it says Getty Images right there.
Half your crew is laughing. Half your crew is like asleep with their eyes open. Like these two at the end of the couch look fucking miserable.
earliest
They're
I
like,
know-
I don't
when
know
is
him.
Chuck D getting here? Who the fuck is this guy?
It's an early call time. That's why.
No, I get it.
You
I'm
told-
still drunk from last night.
Is that why you're double fisted with the coffees here?
Yeah.
You
I just
told-
got back from Wuhan,
Oh my
What's that?
god.
where coronavirus is from.
Get him out of here,
Wuhan,
guys.
Wuhan.
Airiness.
Clan.
Is it too early for coronavirus?
No.
I seen you do
You know
one
what's
on
weird?
Jimmy
I
Fallon,
drank a
Jimmy
Corona.
Kimmel.
What's that?
I seen you do one of Jimmy Kimmel like 3 days ago.
Yeah. I drank a Corona in Wuhan, and then a 80-year-old woman coughed in my mouth.
Ew,
And now,
my god.
And now I am patient zero. I'm
You
spreading
definitely
Corona.
have it.
You told Fader that you said, I want to prove to America that black people are the most diverse, creative group of people, and we can express any way we want.
Wow.
You sounded very smart, like my
Yeah,
glasses.
shit. Wow.
How does that relate to what you do with
I
your
said that?
style?
That sounds so,
to
like,
the
grown
Fader,
up.
To the Fader.
Yeah, Fader of all
Yeah, the fucking Fader.
all magazines.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I feel like that is very important to the creation of your show and your comedy.
Yes, it is.
Word up.
Yeah. I feel weird being so serious. Yeah.
I threw him for a loop. I like this.
Yes.
I like this.
Happy belated Black History Month.
Yes.
It doesn't end here.
Assalamu
baby.
alaikum. It never ends in my mind.
Talk to me about your comedy influences and people who influence this style of comedy that you do.
I love any comedian who has their own point of view and sensibility. So I love Chappelle and Chris Rock. I grew up on their stand-up. I love prank shit. I love the Jackass guys and Sacha Baron Cohen. Anybody that forged their own path. You know what I mean? It's like Chappelle gave me the best advice ever because I was about to film my Netflix special and I was nervous about it. And he goes, don't worry about being funny all 60 minutes. You just have to be interesting for all 60 minutes. And I thought that was so fascinating. And that's what people are tapping into, not just the jokes, but your point of view and your spirit of individuality. You know what I mean? So I think that's what makes me and everybody connect with a comedian. You know what I mean? So
The blarf thing is kind of like a Tony Clifton thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's like
You want me to make you some beats? I got Ableton.
that's like some Tony Clifton shit. for real.
Yeah. I'll hook you up. They're not
Okay.
good.
Can we do a collabo?
Sure. I got Ableton. I got a MIDI controller in my garage.
Okay. Explain for the people what blarf is if they don't know. We're
I
assuming this
have
audience
no
doesn't-
idea because I don't want to get sued. How do you not get sued when you use a sample? Didn't Biz Markie get sued for a sample?
He did, but back then people were buying millions of records. Now you just put it out and no one gives a shit because no one buys music anyway.
Is that the truth? Do you have to get every sample cleared?
I still clear samples because I'm known as an artist from that era, so it's just safe for me. Like
Do you have to pay a lot of money?
No, it's going down. Like I had a song that I did with Kate Trinata a couple of years ago, and you're in the video for the song.
What?
Yeah, Traveling Light, because I saw you at the Chappelle thing. And
I'm in the video?
I
for
think
it?
you're in the video.
That's cool.
I'm just for
Well,
a
now
second.
I'm suing you.
Yeah, you know.
You didn't
paid,
clear that with
That's
me.
how it goes. But no, Kate Trinata and myself, we couldn't find the owner of the sample.
Yeah.
And they found us like a year after. I think we paid them like $5,000.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, but back then, Jared, what was it like back in the days? Like $75,000 you have to pay? It was fun. Yeah, like $100,000 you have. If they found you,
That sucks.
yeah. It's different now.
Who do you sample? Do you sample? Do you ever?
I don't make
Do you
beats.
ever make beats?
I don't make beats.
Why not?
I executive produce.
Okay.
I pay somebody to make beats.
What does
Okay.
High Tech do? Does
He makes beats.
Does he go through every little record
High
shop
Tech is
and
he's an old school chop and flip sampler. Like he goes and buys records. He digs in the crates.
he buys like 10 Ahmad Jamal
Yeah,
records?
and he's listening to certain sounds. He's looking at the label to see what year the record came out in, and they know who's playing on what record depending on what label it was on.
Who's
and
your
all that.
favorite beat maker?
High Tech.
You like Madlib too?
I like Madlib too. Madlib doing the whole Black Star album.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's very
awesome.
interesting.
That's cool.
So you're a musician. You went to Berkeley
Yeah, I wasted a lot of money at music school
studying bass,
studying the upright bass.
but you're very good at it.
I was when I was 19. Now I'm
Okay.
like, Mary had a little lamb.
Right, you don't practice that muscle.
It's hard, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for
I feel like you
$0.
would have been a very successful jazz musician.
I mean, that means I would have been playing at weddings and funerals for the rest of my life. I'm like teaching jaded
we have to
teenagers.
change our idea of what success is.
Yeah. Let me lay down an upright bass track on the
Come
new
on, let's
Black
do
Star.
it. Let's do it.
You
I don't
guys
know about the
record
Black
here?
Star joint. You can do it on my solo joint.
Are you guys recording here?
We can. We have a studio right there.
Where do you guys record the album?
With the Black Star album, we
Yeah.
record wherever Yasin Bey is.
Okay.
I literally I find out his hotel room and I book the engineer in the hotel room right next to his.
So he's elusive. He's just
Yeah, and like what I'll do is I'll just be kicking it with him and we chopping it up and talking about art and music, and I'll play him some Madlib beats because he only listens to Madlib beats.
Interesting.
And he'll start coming up with an idea. I'm like, yo, the engineer's next door.
Is he his own? Is he?
That's literally how we got this
Is
album.
he his own kind of dude? Is he on his own?
Yeah, he's very inspirational because he's probably the purest artist that I know. He's pure art. He doesn't want to be involved in the business of music and the
Right.
business of art, but he's constantly creating.
Yeah.
And constantly looking for inspiration. Like he recently was talking about Jay-Z. He's like, Jay-Z is a billionaire, but he's like focused on Demi Lovato's lighting cues at the Super Bowl. He's like, if I was Jay-Z, I'd be learning ancient languages and studying Kung Fu. Like if I had $1 billion, you know? And I'm like, that's very accurate for your personality.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We get pigeonholed as like activist, conscious artists.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel pigeonholed as being a zany prankster type of comedian?
It's not too bad. Not yet. I don't know. I feel like I'm still making my introduction. So, and if somebody tries to pigeonhole me, I'll just set off explosives under their desk or something like that. I got in trouble on Comedy Central for like throwing firecrackers under
Or during a
during a taping. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They didn't think it was funny.
What were you taping?
Anthony Jeselnik had a show.
right, so
called
it wasn't your show at all.
It wasn't my show at all. But the producer was like, "Be crazy, man! I know you're crazy." I was like, "All right." So I brought in like a shit ton
Right,
of
be
firecrackers.
careful what you ask for.
And I was like throwing them under his thing, and the fire marshal came. It was
See what he
bad.
just said? They had in my notes we discussed in this interview with you. They're like, yo, we should ask Eric Andre if he like wants to like put his dick through the table. I'm like, don't ask this motherfucker.
He's gonna
be
do
careful,
it.
Yeah, be careful what you wish
don't
for.
dare him.
Yeah.
I did want him to bring like some fake like bottles and something, like get my head smashed with it. That'd be pretty fucking
Be careful.
fun.
Those things hurt too. The candy glass.
It's one of my dreams.
I just went to the
It's
hospital.
one of your dreams.
It's one of your dreams?
It
All right,
is.
I can make your dream a reality, but it's going to get
Real
dark quick.
Talk to me about meeting and developing a relationship with the great Hannibal Buress.
Me and Hannibal were homeless at the same time in New York
wow.
City doing comedy, doing these like horrible open mics
Mm-hmm.
in New York. And I just thought he was super funny right off the bat. He had his own, same thing. He had his own personality, his own point of view. And I had the idea for the talk show probably around like 2006. And I just knew he was as out there and absurd of a comedian, but total polar opposite energy. Super, super
Right,
mellow.
like a straight man almost.
Like a straight man, but he's also deep down inside just as schizophrenic. But on
Right.
the surface, he's a straight man. So he's just like the perfect co-host.
He's sort of like a sociopath.
He's a sociopath. Yeah,
On your
he's a
show.
Yeah, well, in real life.
in real
too.
life, yeah.
Yeah. There's parts of his brain missing, which makes him the best comedian of all time.
I've had some great nights hanging out. He's a great hang.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Hannibal, especially the
You don't know.
nightclub.
He's completely unpredictable. You don't know what's going on behind those eyes.
Yeah.
How was Ice Cube? Was he cool?
Ice Cube is funny because
Or
he
was
had
he
the
a
sunglasses.
dick?
No, he was really cool, but he was so professional.
What the truth?
This
No,
was the
he
greatest
wasn't
part about
cool.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube was very professional, like movie set, like my time is money type of shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want everything set up for me to walk in. He walked in, he didn't say hi to anybody. He walks in and he sits in the chair.
And it's like go time.
He's like, all right, ready for the interview. Cause he's like, I got other shit to do. He's like, and later on he said, my wife is like, it's Sunday. Where you going on Sunday morning? Because we did it early in the morning. And he did the whole interview and we got through to him on certain things. He's my favorite MC growing up.
Yeah.
But Steve Bramucci, who I just found out today, his name is Bramucci. I've been calling him Baramucci the whole time. He texted Steve after he left and complimented us on our professionalism. And he said they had a good time. So I think he was being professional and seeing what we did first before he let his guard down.
Right.
And then on his way out, he's like, yo, that was dope.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Who did you grow up listening to?
Ice Cube. Ice Cube, KRS One, Q-Tip, De La Soul.
Did you listen to any old school, like first generation Melly Mel?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what?
I
I got, for a kid who grew up in New York at my age, I got into hip hop late. When I was a little kid, when hip hop was bubbling, I knew about Beastie Boys and Run DMC because they were huge.
Right.
But I wasn't into hip. I was listening to Z100, not like WBLS.
Did you have a Jerry curl back in the day?
I didn't, but I did have a shag.
Rink? Okay.
I had a shag.
I had a Gumby at one point.
I had a Gumby with
Bobby
steps
Brown
in it.
put out the Ghostbusters 2 thing. I had a guy.
I had the same
Gumby.
thing, but steps. I was ill skating. The hair thing was a big deal to me back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a big part of my identity.
Did you listen to Bobby Brown back in the day?
Absolutely. Bobby Brown did a whole R&B album where he rapped on every song.
Oh shit!
That first album, that Don't Be Crew album, go back and listen to it again. He busts verses on every song, which tells me that he just wanted to rap.
Yeah.
Like rap was the high shit back then, and he just wanted to he was like all this singing and dancing shit. Like he still wanted to dance, but he wanted to dance. He wanted his hands to be free.
You know what's weird? Donald Trump.
It's his prerogative.
Donald Trump is in one of his music videos. You know that?
In the Ghostbusters one. Because Donald Trump was in Ghostbusters too.
Cool.
Bobby Brown was, that's the part, like I remember how happy I was that the great international superstar Bobby Brown got to play a doorman in the Ghostbusters movie. Because we had such little representation. It was like, oh my God, a nigga in Ghostbusters, 2 niggas in Ghostbusters. You got Ernie Hudson, and now you got Bobby Brown.
I had the Ernie Hudson doll when I was growing up, like the action figure.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson was like a revolutionary for playing like the black Ghostbusters.
That's right.
Fucking terrible.
Who is in your show, which celeb do you feel like has gotten the most offended by you? Like if they came in a restaurant and saw you, like, man, fuck that guy.
T.I. wasn't happy, I don't think. T.I. was
He wanted to get out of this.
I think he had enough. And Lauren Conrad.
Oh yeah, that was disgusting.
Because I ate my own puke.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You be doing shit like that.
That's usually when people leave the conversation.
Speaking of Flavor Flav, did Hannibal really kick him? He kicked him, right?
Dude, Hannibal kicked him in the fucking face.
Like for real, like contact.
Like sent him to the hospital.
He was like, you never see Key and Peele?
Or maybe
you ever
he
see
did.
Key and Peele do Obama's anger translator? He's like Chuck D's anger translator.
Yeah. I can't believe it took him 35 years to break up. I would have thought they would have broken up much, much earlier.
Yeah.
I thought they already broke up.
They did a couple times.
Yeah.
But they got back together.
Aw. It's like a marriage.
It is.
It is like a marriage.
They're an odd couple. If me and Hannibal are an odd couple, Chuck D and Flavor Flav, that is as odd.
Yeah, but it was on purpose, though. It was on purpose.
Yeah,
Chuck
it was
was
by
like
design.
a stroke of genius. I know, like people come on your show, like Wiz Khalifa and other people. I'm sure, watch your show. How many people come on that are in on the joke?
Now it's getting harder. Nobody's ever in on the joke. I never tell any guest what I'm about to do. That is the rule. They come in blind. So I can't control whether they watch the show at home or not, but they don't know any gag that's coming. So that's the best we can do. We also tell their publicists little to nothing. We're just like, hey, it's a show. It's a talk show. Come on by. That's about it. So
and that's
so
like
we tell them the minimal.
The blueprint of it is like a public access cable talk show, like
it's just because Adult Swim's budget is like,
talk to me
3
about
Domino's pizza coupons.
Right, working with Adult Swim. There's a lot of creative, artistic freedom. Obviously.
Yeah, no, Adult Swim's the best, and like I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for them. They were the first company to take a chance on me, and they give us total creative freedom. So God bless them. I am not complaining about Adult Swim. They are, I'm totally spoiled being over there.
Right.
It's my sandbox. So
right, because the only other way to do that is just on your own, right?
Yeah, on like ericandre.com.
Right.
It would have been that or Adult Swim. And
you guys started in like an empty bodega?
Yeah, so we were, me and Hannibal, we found this like rat's nest of a bodega. Like it's under the JMZ train, like I want to say at the end of Bushwick. What's at the end of Bushwick? Bed-Stuy? It's like out by like Kosciuszko or something.
Kosciuszko.
Kosciuszko. Kosciuszko.
Kosciuszko.
And it was like a rat's nest, broken glass everywhere. And we just like cleaned it out and put some curtains up, and we filmed the first kind of sizzle reel out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jasmin moved from New York to Los Angeles to find her comedy voice. Can you talk to us about the days of like being a struggling comic and what you have to, or comedian, and like what that feels like?
It's the worst feeling. You have to bomb for like 10 years. You do shows where you go into a bar and dudes are, and this was like right before the smoking ban. So people be smoking, playing cards, football games on TV, and then the bartender would just turn the football game off and go, "There's a comedy show happening now. Eric, please come to the stage." And then you have to convince these 4 angry dudes who are watching the football game like that you're funny. What the fuck are you doing here? It'd be like you're just standing there. Sometimes there'd be no microphone, and the microphone would barely work, so you just look like an asshole just standing in the middle of a bar telling jokes about like the new iPhone or the Iraq war, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" So you got to convince those guys you're funny. It's like weights. It's like a gym. You know what I mean? So you got to like build your comedy muscle.
What's the craziest place you had to perform comedy? Because like out here, it's fucking ridiculous.
I did a show in Port Arthur, Texas, where one of the opening acts was in the audience and he threatened to kill me during my set. And
what
he
did you
wasn't
say?
joking. I was like, "So anybody celebrating any birthdays out there?" I just try to like commando roll out of it.
No, but what'd you say?
I was like 23 years
so
old.
upset?
I was giving him a hard time. I think I was in his face. But God, you name it. My friends have had bottles thrown at them on stage and stuff like that. It's pretty rough.
Thankfully, no one's thrown any bottles or fruit or anything at me. Although I did want to get a tomato thrown.
No, you don't. It's rough.
It's just
wants
for
to
the
get bottles?
story.
Yeah, you have a weird.
I want to get slime too. It's fucking retarded. I know. I mean, not retarded. That's a bad word.
Retarded American is the proper term.
It's very woke.
Right. What's it like being a broke comic in New York? Is it like?
God, I was so broke. I went to this place. The name of it was Punjabi Deli. It was on First and First. It had microwave Indian food. They would microwave it in a styrofoam cup, and it was $2 a meal.
The cameraman has ate from there before.
You don't know if he's Indian?
And it was just me and like Hannibal and a few other comedians and all taxi drivers. This is before Uber. Just all cab drivers eating this microwave Indian food because that was the only thing I could afford. That and like $2 falafels. I had no nutrients. Yeah. So I had no nutrients in my body for like the first 5 years.
So they didn't
Not
just
a
like
salad in sight.
They didn't like readily give out food stamp cards here because like out here you can get like
I did. I was on
food
unemployment
stamps.
when I got out here, but I didn't even like think to do that.
Oh yeah.
When I was in New York, I was working. I was like doing temp work and working odd jobs, so I'd have like a paycheck here and there, but it was rough. I would like Hannibal would sleep on the subway. I was sleeping on couches. I used to go on stage and at the end of my set go, "Hey, is there anybody's couch I could crash on for the night?" and stuff like that. It was rough.
And be dead
But it made me
serious.
the man I am today.
It's like that show Crashing. That's what he's trying to get to, right?
Yeah.
That experience.
Yeah.
Man, that's ill. That's a very inspirational story.
I was a mess. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in the park, not in Central Park, in this little park on 35th and First, St. Vartan's Park. And I was like, I'll just sleep in the park. And I was like, I'll just get drunk until I can sleep in the park. And I would get drunk and sleep on a bench and then wake up at 5 a.m. like, this is a fucking horrible idea. What am I doing? Like run to a friend's house, like, "Let me in, man. Let me borrow your toothbrush."
So this is why, like, do you feel like that's kind of why you have like no fear when it comes to your comedy? Like you have nothing to fucking lose?
I have fear. I just know there's comedy on the other side of that fear. So I just like push through the fear. But usually the more scared I am, like we got a knife pulled out on us when we were filming the movie,
Yeah.
me and Rel. And that
We
was
saw
Rel's
that.
second day of filming.
Fucking
and I
Atlanta
just know,
niggas,
I know
man.
in the editing bay it's going to be awesome. In the moment, I'm like, I'm going to die.
Right.
But in the editing bay, I'm going to be happy. So
Man, he's fucking with Atlanta niggas, man. Trying to
Yeah,
pull pranks
he was
on niggas in Atlanta.
Yeah.
he was like, you should not do these pranks.
right. Your father's Haitian, your mother's
Yes.
Jewish.
Sakbase, L'chaim.
There you go. The alt-right probably can't stand you. You're like the comedy version of Drake.
Yes.
You're like, but you're also an atheist.
Yeah.
For people who don't understand what a Jewish atheist is, explain that.
I'd say I'm atheist agnostic. I'm more, I mean, I don't like the term atheist because it has such a triggering term for people to be like, well, what do you mean? I kind of just don't believe in anything, but I'm also agnostic because I'm like, who am I? What do I know? You could be just as right as me. I'm not militant about it, I don't think. But
Right.
I identify as a Jew ethnically. Jews were like pushed to Siberia
Right.
for thousands of years, so we developed our own culture and ethnicity, kind of.
Right.
So I'm proud of being a Jew. I love Larry David and Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
but
I like those people too.
I'm not religious. I don't.
Right, right.
I don't believe in.
I feel like
anything.
there's a lot of Jews in the room who agree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
I don't
you're
want to
Jewish?
I don't want to Jew splain for anybody.
I don't wear the hat or read the book. I mean, have you ever cracked open the Bible? It's like, don't eat shrimp. It gave Joshua a stomach ache. You're like, what?
I love your Bible impersonation.
Well, it's just a bunch of like confused Jews in the desert from 5,000 years ago, like
Not
doing
eating
magic
shrimp.
tricks for each other.
And I know in Aventura, that's like a huge Jewish.
Right? It's like, you want water or wine? It's just David Copperfield in the desert.
I know, like in Aventura, that's like a huge Jewish community. Was it like that in Boca Raton as well?
Yeah, it was.
Where Eric grew up at, we didn't mention that.
Yeah, Boca Raton.
Yes.
Oh no,
Not really. I mean, nobody wore the hat. It wasn't the hat and the payas.
And the curls.
And no curls.
The hat, you
Reformed.
keep
They're
saying
called
the hat.
Reformed Jews.
I
The
saw,
hat is a yarmulke.
Nathan Fielder
Yeah.
TV show.
Yeah.
And there was one episode where he had a funeral for his pet fly. But he's Jewish, so he's having a Jewish funeral.
Yeah.
And he asked his friend, he's like, what do you know about Jews? He's like, they wear the hat.
Yeah, they wear the hat. We got the hat.
I saw your interview with Larry
Have
King.
you ever cracked open the Old Testament's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah,
it's like
it's-
Deuteronomy says you can stone your wife to death
Yeah.
if you find out she's not a
Technically,
virgin on the wedding day.
The Bible
I'm
is
dead.
more violent than the Quran. The Bible's more violent than the Quran. Like,
Yeah.
when you put
yeah.
When you analyze the data.
It condones
All
slavery.
types of crazy shit.
Fucking, it's rough.
Yeah.
And like out of nowhere, God just goes to Abraham. He's like, cut the tip of your son's dick off. And he's like, what? He's like, you have to or you're betraying me. And he's like, all right. And then he tells us he's got to cut his slave's son's dick tips off. It's a crazy fucking book.
Yeah,
Imagine being Abraham being like, listen, man, God came to me last night. You know the tip of your dicks? And everyone's like, yeah. He's
cut
like,
that shit
it's
off.
gotta go. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, he'll be fucking pissed if you don't cut that shit off. They're like, fuck. That's a rock and
I
hard
always
place.
wonder why black people have to get circumcised, because I know like other people it's like religious reasons, but never mind. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna. If I have a son, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think it's hygiene from 5,000 years ago.
I'm
Yeah.
cutting
The
it
Torah
off.
is at least. It's like don't eat lobster, don't eat shrimp, cut the tip of the dick off. But I like Red Lobster, man.
Dick hygiene and Red Lobster.
Oh my
That's what we
god.
get into. Your interview with Larry King.
Yes,
It's one of my favorite interviews I've ever
Thank
seen in my
you.
life. And I'll tell you why. Mike Wallace did an interview with Salvador Dali that you
Okay.
should watch on YouTube.
All right.
Right? And
He's like impossible to interview kind of guy, right?
Yes.
Like never a straight answer, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same way you were with Larry King.
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
And what I love about this interview is Mike Wallace, who's considered like a standard bearer in journalism. He was so confused by this artist. And he was like asking him to explain art. He kept saying this through the interview. But why?
Yeah.
But why do you do this?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Salvador Dali's giving him these ridiculous but also made sense. He was like, if you take my pen away from me, he said, you could lock me in a cell. I'll cut my veins open and I'll paint on the floor with my blood. This is the
That's
type of shit
cool.
he's saying,
That's
right?
cool.
For me as an artist, I'm related to it.
Yeah.
Larry King, he's like, why don't you brush your hair?
Yeah.
Like, look, he was baffled by you.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was going on in your mind?
brush
He
your
literally
hair.
asked you that.
Well, he's like 110 years old, so I don't know. He's like a 110-year-old little Jewish grandpa. So
Right.
I was like just hearkening back to how I would mess with my grandmother, I
Okay.
guess. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the first people I pranked in my life were my mom and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Larry, I guess he was, hearkening
Mm-hmm.
that feeling. But I agree with Salvador Dali. I don't think it's the burden of the artist to explain their art. It's
Right.
the burden of the viewer. You know what I mean? Like if once an artist starts explaining their art, it's actually taking away from their art and it's taking away from your experience of their art. You know what I mean? So I rather give joke answers or keep the person
Right.
guessing because it takes away from it. I don't know.
Right.
I think.
Now that interview is really good. I encourage everybody to watch that.
I saw you live when I was, I'd say 17 years old at the Sunrise Amphitheater in Fort Lauderdale. And tell me if I'm wrong. I think you smoked like 100 blunts. Like by the, am I getting that wrong? This
I
is like,
probably
this was
did.
20
Sounds
years
like
ago.
Talib.
And you were just smoking by yourself. And then you came out and you spit hot flame. I mean, like I'd never seen, like you didn't take a breath. You didn't inhale. And
Yeah.
I was like, if I smoked, I can't smoke weed. It makes me so paranoid. If I smoked like an eighth of what you smoked, I'd be like face down in a
Yeah,
bathtub.
it might have been an eighth that I smoked.
It was incredible. And you were like talking shit about the promoter. You're like, who the fuck promoted this show? This is bullshit. But you were, it was when you toured with Common.
Okay.
And-
Electric Circus Tour?
Yeah, it was right after Soundbombing II came out.
Yeah.
And that's when I started becoming aware of all your guys. Because we didn't get good
Right.
hip hop in Florida. You know what I mean? But that Soundbombing II album came out. What happened to Rawkus Records? Why does everybody talk shit about that?
That's Jared. He started Rawkus. You can ask
my
him
bad.
directly.
What happened with you
Did
and
he leave? Or
LP?
he
Why
left?
does LP talk shit
Yo,
about them?
LP came on our show and talked about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now it's getting awkward.
Yeah, no, but LP, LP made amends with that feeling. He,
Okay.
he describes himself as just being young and hot-headed and shit, but he definitely talked a lot of shit about Rawkus. And then he ended up doing business with Jared later on.
I remember listening to him talk shit about Rawkus. I was like, can I still listen to Soundbombing? I really
Right.
like this album.
Soundbombing was a classic project. People really
Yeah.
fuck with that one.
Yeah.
That one really touched people in a different way. And I think, Eminem, it introduced people to the Rawkus scene,
Yeah.
to Eminem, to like the whole way they were doing mixtapes and everything.
Yeah.
It was a very important project.
Mhm.
You trolled Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was all.
Thank you.
And that was a stroke of luck because we got there. We didn't know he was going to be there. We literally got out of our, my whole crew shoves in a passenger van. We hopped out of the van and we're like, let's mess with this crowd as a warm up. That wasn't even our main thing we were going to shoot we were at the RNC, Republican National Convention in Ohio. And then lo and behold, 2 seconds later, Alex Jones walked on stage. And my director's like, try to hop on stage. I don't know. Let's film. Let's just
Right.
like, we just were winging it.
Right.
And I like try to barge on stage. I'm barging through like neo-Nazis and like
Bikers for
InfoWar,
Trump.
all right. Yeah, Bikers for Trump.
Which is
It's-
straight up Nazis.
Yeah, it's like a violent right-wing crowd, alt-right crowd. And they're like pushing me. And then I guess he thought I was Trevor Noah. I don't know who he thought I was because he goes, bring the Daily Show guy up here. He talks like Macho Man Richard. Bring the Daily Show guy up here.
Snap it
And
to
I
a
was
Slim
like,
Jim.
all right. And he's like, whoa, you're on the, snap it to a Slim Jim. And he's like, whoa, you're on the Daily Show, right? I was like, no, I'm on MySpace. And he's like, whoa, blah, 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 blah. And he thought I was going to like come with all of these like political facts. And he was looking for an argument. And then I was like, no, I just want you to fuck my wife. And then he was like, no, get out of here. It's like the angry principal. So that was pure luck, like right place at
Right.
the right time.
You vocalized support for Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
Can you tell me why? And can you also say whether or not you would troll or prank someone on the political spectrum that you agree with?
Oh yeah, we did it last election. You know what I mean? We went to the DNC as well. Everybody remembers the RNC better than the DNC. But yeah, there's corruption on both sides, and especially if Biden gets a nomination, I'm gonna go fucking ape shit at the DNC. So, because I think Joe Biden's also Republican, and
he's
he created,
centrist
he
is,
created mass incarceration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Joe Biden is.
So yeah, I think there's so
Yeah.
much corruption on both sides. I think we're in like a one-party state, but
Okay.
that's just me.
Okay. Now, you being a black dude,
I am a black dude.
Black Jewish dude.
Half African American.
Right. Like marching your way through like neo-Nazis.
It was tense.
Yeah.
That was tense.
But see, first of all, let's talk about Bad Trip and bring Bad Trip in because Bad Trip is a wonderful project.
Less neo-Nazis in the movie.
Yeah, but you have black people, you and Lil Rel and Tiffany Haddish, doing pranks in a space that people see as a white space.
Right.
And doing things that, Johnny Knoxville could do and won't get shot for, but a black person might get arrested, shot, killed.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that disparity?
I am well aware of it because people are pulling out weapons on us.
Yeah.
And I've lived it. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But I know that's where the comedy is. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know there's comedy in that tension.
I'm a fan of Jackass and Bad Grandpa and all the things that this crew has done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went to the movies theater to see Jackass.
Yeah.
I went to the theater to see Bad Grandpa and Bad Trip is, I think, brilliant because of the fact that you have black people doing it.
Yeah.
I think it's just more dangerous.
Yeah.
When I did your show, Steve-O was a guest.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's an inspiration to you.
Yeah.
And when I saw Steve-O, I was like, last time I saw you was at this Wu-Tang concert. He was like, oh, you were there?
Oh, yeah. I heard about this.
Yeah, and he got Raekwon upset because he had his pants down or doing some.
Well, they were doing like a sincere
ODB
tribute.
Yeah.
And he used to do a lot of drugs, Mr. Steve.
Yeah.
And when he did a lot of drugs, he was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I think he was naked. It was not the right time to be naked. I don't think he was reading the crowd or reading the situation because he was high as fuck.
Right.
So.
But that's why you said you always need a black person in the room, right?
You always need a black person
There's
in the
like
room.
a room full of black people.
Yeah, you need one. First of all, Bad Trip's fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
I loved it.
Thank you.
When you guys were filming, Tiffany Haddish, you, Rel, like people know you. It wasn't like no one like was like, oh my God, you guys are filming a movie, or no one like you have to redo
we
anything?
get busted sometimes. We had a few rules. Whenever we could control who we were pranking or bring in the people you prank are called marks.
Of course they are.
It's a carnival term.
Mark ass buster.
Mark ass.
So when you could kind of control the crowd, we would just make sure there was no one under 35 years old.
Oh,
You notice like most of the people we're pranking in the movie are like moms and like, just people over 40, 45 because they're much less likely to watch my show or Get Out or Tiffany Haddish movie. And then Tiffany was the most famous out of the three of us.
Yeah.
So we gave her face tattoos. We gave her cornrows. We just made her look like Post Malone as much as possible. So that was our strategy. But we would get busted every once in a while. We had like code words. We would be like, we would use the term, we would say the name Phyllis. We'd be like, hey, I think Phyllis is here. She's wearing a green shirt. And then like a PA would come in and go, hey, you know what we're doing here, right? And the person would be like, oh, yeah. Like, why don't you just let it happen? And we kind of like walk them out of there or make them an accomplice. Be like, you feel like pranking your mom? I don't think she knows.
Cool.
They'd be like, yeah. And then we'd like, just send your mom to aisle 6 at the supermarket. and then we'd jump out and prank the mom.
Let's go to a clip.
Oh, we have
What
clips.
clip are we
No, we don't
doing?
have a fucking clip. This ain't Jimmy Kimmel.
We had, and I fucked it up. I'm like, what? We have clips now? Me and Talib were having a debate earlier, and this is going to come out after the movie.
Why are you so far away? Why can't you let her sit here? What is this chair?
Because women are not allowed to sit at the
what
table
the
with
fuck?
men.
The
Listen.
future's female. You take his seat.
She's actually...
Tell all the people in the comments that Future is female.
Yeah.
We were having a...
no, tell them why you over there first.
I'm like the off-screen producer, so I sit here
They
and
tell
I
her
do...
Get
things.
on screen.
And
They
I
tell her
do
things in the
other
headphones.
shit,
You should be sitting right here.
just like blend it in with the background like this. I feel more comfortable right
I
here.
feel
I'm
very
a
distant
Christian.
from you. It's very upsetting.
It's all right. I feel you. If you just reach out there, we're touching each other. There you go.
What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
Okay, me and Talib were having a debate earlier. That part where Tiffany escapes from the prison bus.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
that guy know? Was he a part of the prank, or was he just a down ass black dude?
Dude, that was 100% real. So we have an ethos. We don't fake any reactions. Every single reaction you see in the movie or my show, 100% real. So that guy Well, we went on Craigslist and we were like, we need to hire somebody for graffiti removal. So we hired that. So my producer, he just thinks my producer is like, he works for the city. You know what I mean? And we're like, yeah, kids are tagging the wall here. We just need some graffiti removal. That's all. He doesn't see any cameras. It's completely hidden cameras. So he was just there for 20 minutes. And then we cue the bus, the prison bus. And Tiffany's like strapped to the bottom of the prison bus. Pulled up, she popped out, and he was totally on the hook. It took a while, though. We did it a few times. One lady we did it to, she just like ran for her life and called the police. He was the only one that like stayed there and was like, get out of here, go that
Let's give it up for the community policy on snitching.
He does not get any stitches today.
Right, no stitches for him. Tiffany played that role as if Girl Trip flunked and failed and flopped.
Right.
Like she played that role like scary good.
Yeah.
She was out there scaring motherfuckers.
She's an incredible, I mean, there's a reason she's a movie star. She's comedy on a cellular level. She's just like, and she can do everything. Stand up, prank stuff. You know, some people can just act, some people can just do stand up, some people can do this prank stuff. There's nothing she cannot do. She's just incredible. She was such an added value to the movie. Yeah. The reason she did the movie, we didn't even have her in the movie at first. So Rel, the second day we were filming, Rel and I got a knife pulled out on us.
No.
And Rel's never done this prank shit before. So he was like fucking pissed. He was like, dude, you're going to get me killed. Kids, you can't do this. And then he's friends with Tiffany.
I was wondering about that because he doesn't seem like the type.
No, he did not. I mean, he was not happy when weapons are being brandished. Right. So he was fucking pissed. So he called Tiffany that night because they're good friends. Yeah. He's like, man, I'm doing this fucking Eric Andre prank movie. Eric's going to get me killed. And he's complaining. And then like 5 minutes later, Tiffany called me. She's like, yo, you almost got Rel killed at work today? I was like, yeah. And then she went, I want to do your movie. I was like, what? I was like, all right, you're in.
Shout out to Lil Rel for getting Tiffany in the movie.
Tiffany, my homies. Love you.
Now, your name on social media is Eric fucking Andre.
Yeah.
You're pulling your penis out.
Yeah.
How does Disney feel about all this? Because you're also
I don't think they notice. I don't think they know who I am to this day. Yeah, I don't think they know who the fuck I am.
Wow.
I think they thought they booked like Trevor Noah.
I remember.
Yeah, the Daily Show guy.
Like
Get him over.
2 years before Lion King came out, right? I remember the trailer came out like a good 2 years before the movie dropped.
Right.
And it's like Beyonce.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Eric Andre. I was like, what the fuck? I was in the theater like, did someone make a mistake here?
Is that the dancing they did too, Talib?
That's just how because the names were like in gold.
You know what's crazy? I play one of the hyenas, and they animated a dick on the hyena that I'm in.
No, they didn't.
Someone knew.
Yeah. Go back and watch it.
I don't know if I want to go back and watch it.
You would have.
Hyena. I don't know if I want to see hyena dicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're lying.
I'm fucking right.
Oh my God, don't do that to me. I was really going to go back and look for hyena
That was
dick.
in my contract. I was like, you got to put a dick.
He's like Christopher Walken with the dancing.
Oh my God.
Uncircumcised.
Don't cut the tip
Black
off.
Jewish dick on the hyena.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I asked Hannibal, I go, why aren't black people coming to my live show?
Because
I know why.
Yeah. I go. It's like predominantly white crowd at my live show. There's not a lot of black people coming anymore. Season 1, there's black people coming, but it's less. And he goes, you got to put your dick away, man. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
One of my favorite performances from you is in Pop Star.
Wow.
And you
You
played
went deep.
Yes.
Love
I
that
like that movie a lot. But you really
Can you smoke weed like you used to? I mean,
Yes.
It was an incredible.
He does.
And it was like a cigarette. Like you couldn't care less. Like I don't even think you were getting high. You were just like,
Fort
what's
Lauderdale.
my set? All right, Common's done in 20 minutes. I could probably sneak 5 blunts in that time.
The salad days.
I would be.
Drizzlers on
It's
his
not my
food.
drug. It makes me paranoid.
What's your drug?
Mushrooms.
I like mushrooms.
I knew
Mushrooms is
I like
is a favorite around here.
I like Molly.
it. Acid.
I like acid, but it's strong.
It is.
I
but
got to be in the right place.
I've only done acid once, Mom. But yeah, it's
I'm
good.
doing it right now, actually. I'm
Oh,
high as
shit.
hell. You ever do acid?
Yes.
How was it?
It was fun. It was pretty white though.
You didn't have like
I
an
literally
existential
had-
You meet
experience?
yourself.
Where were you?
I did acid like 3 times in high school because I went to
Oh
a
my
boarding
God.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a dreadlock weed dealer that I tried to buy acid from in Washington Square Park.
What?
And he was like, I'm not selling you that. Some white boy shit. Stop doing that.
Was it like the dudes that play chess in Washington?
No, it was like the
Square?
dudes that sell weed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I had fun on acid, but mushrooms is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, mushrooms is better than acid.
I would say acid is better than mushrooms, but you can't do acid.
How would
as
you
much.
know?
I've done both. Mom once, and
Is that camera operator your mom? Is that who you
no, my mom is watching this. Obviously,
My mom has a bigger beard than that camera operator.
but no, it never mind.
I did ether one time. I huffed ether.
What the fuck?
That was cool. You ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
This is shit that makes you burn slow.
Man,
Yeah, I've seen Fear and Loathing.
I felt like $1 million. I did it on stage
You're
at a
Hunter
comedy show.
S. Thompson for real.
Oh my
yeah,
god!
yeah. It was cool. I like nitrous oxide too. I like laughing gas.
Yeah, that's what they
I
do.
kinda I like
in
it all.
Denver.
So-
I went to
Yeah.
a party in Denver and everybody's
Balloon
walking on
party.
a fucking balloon.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
and friends of mine that I'm not going to blow them up on the show,
No, blow
but
them
you
up.
know who I'm
Snitching.
talking to. I seen you with that fucking balloon. I was like, the fuck is that?
Yeah,
and
man.
offering me balloons. I'm like, no, this is
Do your kids smoke weed?
yes,
How old are they?
old enough to smoke weed.
Wow, that's cool. Are you like a proud father?
Proud that they smoke weed?
Yeah.
No,
No?
no, I'm not proud. I'm indifferent to it.
Really?
Like I'm not mad about it, but I'm not proud.
Do you still smoke like you used to?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I just smoke better weed now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
When you said you do Molly, have you ever done Molly and done stand up? And if you did,
I have in Atlanta.
Was it a truth serum? Like, what did you?
I think I did well, but then when I got off stage, I was like, I might have bombed, but I'm so high that I felt great. In Australia, they shelf it. You know what that is?
No.
They put it's called hydrogen collusion. They put one in their mouth and
And their penis?
no.
Oh,
What the
sorry.
fuck? What
I'm sorry. What else would you?
They put it in their butthole.
Oh well, this isn't butthole. This is butthole.
Well, I shelf it by going around.
This is how I
They
do
call
it.
it shelving. They put it up their tuchus. And the hydrogen colonic is when you put one in the ass, one in the mouth, and it meets in the middle.
You know too much about this.
Yeah.
So tell me about
jail
this.
changes a man.
Tell me about this fantastic birthday party extravaganza that I will be
Yes.
either participating in or
Okay.
have participated in, depending on when this comes out.
Yes, I have a crazy party. It started 10 years ago in my little shitty shoebox apartment, and I was getting like camels and zebras, and I was like cramming them in my apartment and having DJs. I mean, the apartment was like the size of this table, so I was like Dr. Doolittle on drugs. So we were like, I had like firecrackers and ether, and it was like actually pretty dangerous. And then the party just started getting bigger and bigger, and now it's grown to this like big event. So what did I do? So historically, we had a drug piñata that's going to be there. A lot of animals.
Okay.
You will be there.
I will be there with the animals and the drug piñata.
I'm inviting myself now.
Yes, you're in. Is that
happy birthday.
Is that Chuck D's agent?
I don't know. Chuck D doesn't have an agent.
I love
You
it.
age out of agents. That's why they call them agents. They're only for a certain age. You know what I'm saying? But let's wish Eric Andre a happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
This people's party is dedicated to the birth of Eric motherfucking Andre.
That's right.
Give it up
Thank
for
you.
Eric Andre.
Thank you.
Yeah!
Thank you. Sir.
That was awesome.